NBL TV. See it live. Every match of the season, all the action as it happens. Full match replays and highlights when and where you want. On your PC, iPad, iPhone. With monthly and yearly packages, we have a subscription to suit you. NBL TV. See it live.
Hello everyone and welcome to It Goes Off Wrap of the Round. We've just finished round 2 and I tell you what, the dream teamers out there would have had some difficulties in this round. The Melbourne Tigers and the Townsville Crocs still the only two teams in the competition to register a win, but get out there and jump on the dream team action because it's going to be hard to catch up if you let it go too long. Grantley, round 2. Interesting round. We had the big clash in Sydney between the Sydney Kings and the Melbourne Tigers, and the Sydney Kings, not a lot of expectations on them this season, but they looked pretty sharp. But talk us through all the winners and losers in round 2.
Well, it all started on Friday night up in Cairns, where Cam Trigar, who is #1 in Dream Team with a bullet, get on trigger for the Dream Team. He had 20 points and 8 boards, but the Snakes still went down 58-68 to the Wollongong Hawks. Larry Davidson had 15 points on 5 of 7 shooting for the Hawks. The Hawks got out of the blocks with a 23-12 first quarter, and that set up the 10-point win. The Taipans shot themselves in the foot from the charity stripe, only 4 of 11 on free throws. The New Zealand Breakers, 73, the Adelaide 36ers, 59. Our man, Cedric Jackson, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and apparently at halftime he was handing out a few concessions as well.
Got to be some Dream Team points there as
well.
There
would be a few there. Alex Pledger had 15 points on 7 of 10 shooting, and he had 10 boards to go with that as well. The Breakers, they got that win on the back of a 27-12 fourth quarter. They had 42 points in the paint to Adelaide's 26, so a big inside factor there. Daniel Johnson for the Sixers had 15. And the Peach, Anthony Petrie, had 13 points on 6 of 9 field goals. The Sydney Kings, 85. The Melbourne Tigers, 82. Darnell Lazar and Corin Henry, the imports for the Kings, had 46 points between them. They picked up the Kings, 17 points from Melbourne turnovers, which was a big factor. And Lazar had 4 free throws in the last 11 seconds to get the win. Liam Rush, 15 points, and Seth Scott, 14 points, 9 boards for the Tigers. And finally on Sunday, in the nationally televised game, it was the Townsville Toothless Crocodiles, 58 against the Perth Wildcats, 82. Michael Cedar had 11 points to the top score for the Crocs, but they shot just 17 of 59 on field goals. That's 29%. If they hadn't have gone 21 of 26 on free throws, they would have been in all sorts of froth and bubble. Kevin Lish had 20 and Sean Redditch 18 for the Wildcats, who had a 48-20 second half to put this one to bed.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty for the Townsville Crocs, and post-game, Paul Wolpert, the head coach of the Crocs, he was scathing of their performance. So I'm expecting a pretty tough week on the track for the Crocs players. The good news is they got Gary Irvin and Larry Ebney back into the lineup, and it's going to take them a while to gel and mix in with the group, but certainly they'll be better for the run.
I think you were right. I think they're actually, probably on Sunday, they were probably playing like Gary Abney and Larry Irvin, but I'm sure it'll come around.
I tell you, one of the great things this season, have you noticed the kit of all the teams? They're looking very, very sharp, and if you want to get amongst it and look like some of the players running around, jump on the NBL website, nblstore.com.au. Got all the merchandise. The shooting tops look real sharp, and the balls and the T-shirts like we're sporting here.
Schmick. Some
fantastic gear on offer. nblstore.com.au is the place to check out all the NBL merchandise.
Is the white slimming? I got told white was slimming.
Well, you're a little chunky, but that's all right, not too bad. So let's take a look at the NBL ladder after round 2. At the top of the table, it's the Perth Wildcats. Fantastic start to the season, 2-0, along with the Wollongong Hawks, the only 2 undefeated teams in the competition. The Adelaide 36ers and Cairns Taipans make up the top 4. But out on percentage is the Sydney Kings and the New Zealand Breakers. I doubt that they'll be outside the top 4 for very much longer. And at the bottom of the table, we've got the Melbourne Tigers and the Townsville Crocs, still trying to get their first win of the season. Round 3 tips off on Friday. Get out there and check out your team. That's all we have time for on this week's Wrap of the Round. But we want to say thanks to our sponsors. And it all starts with our naming rights sponsor, iNet.
Connect better.
10
And 1.
Spalding
And for.
and Virgin Australia. Big round coming up, and the match of the round is the Perth Wildcats taking on the Melbourne Tigers at Hisense Arena on Sunday, 2 o'clock on Channel 10. Check it out if you can't get to the game. Until next time, that's all from Grantley Bernard and Andrew Gaze on the #1 podcast in the world. It goes off.
NBL TV. See it live.